Ryan, congratulations through to the third round. Just sum up how you're feeling.
Yeah, I'm really happy to get through that game. It was a really tough game. Not so much, I know Danny didn't play his best game, but I really struggled early on, so I'm delighted to have found a little bit extra in the next few sets to get through the game.
You say you found it. That third set, just talk us through that. How game-changing was that for you?
The first set?
The third set, 1, 2, 4.
Oh, the third set, yeah. Yeah, it was a mixture of emotions because I felt like I was struggling in the game. I felt like I was lucky to win the second set. He missed doubles to go 2-0 in sets. And then I thought, this is your lucky day, you know, he's let you off, you've got to punish him now. And I pulled out a few really good shots at the right time. Any top player, I'll tell you, it's some games it's all about timing. I felt we're both struggling. We weren't at our top gear, but we were still playing good darts. It wasn't really bad. But just certain moments we were really inconsistent, both of us, throughout the game, and you've got to take out those big shots at the right time to win games like that. You
said after the first one that you didn't feel like you were in the greatest form coming into this.
Yeah. How
much better do you think you can get? Where do you think your game is at going into the next round?
Well, I can add 20 points to my average on when I'm playing really well, but compared to the very top players like sort of Luke Humphreys and Luke Littler, those really top players, they produce that a lot more regular than I do, but I can still produce that. So I'm still dangerous in this competition. I can produce that for a one-off game maybe and put out some really good players if I'm on top form.
You're a former quarter-finalist here. Do you feel you can go one step further, maybe two steps further and win?
Well, looking at the draw, I've got some really tough games coming up, so it's all on the day, darts. You never know what's going to happen. I wouldn't make any predictions. I'm just going to try and enjoy it and try my best and see where it goes.
Spoke about your next game, obviously Ryan Searle or Matt Campbell. How are you prepared for that? Obviously, back here after Christmas. What does the next few days look like for you?
No, I'm just going to relax and enjoy the Christmas. I'm not going to think about the darts until I come back down here. And I put a lot of practice in leading up to this game. And all that practice and all that hard work unravelled in set one, and the next three sets after that I just switched off and just hid them natural and just said, don't worry about what you've been doing, just throw them at the target and see how, just trust in your natural ability. And that seemed to get us over the line today, so I'm not going to worry about anything now. I'm just going to switch off and try and enjoy it.
Cheers, Ryan. Thank you.
Cheers.
Ryan, many congratulations. You don't often give emotion around the stage, but that celebration that you put in was most unlike you. What brought that emotion on?
I think it was a combination of obviously it's a huge game. It's 6 years since I made it through to the last 32 World Championship, and I had a feeling that I could win that game if I just produced some moments. And like I say, I was struggling. I wasn't scoring well, which is not unusual for me, but it's still frustrating. And it was like a release of emotion, saying that's a huge moment in this game, and it come out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting to hit it, and it's like wow, that feels really good. And I had to let that emotion out.
Well, you kind of beat me to it there. The quarterfinal in 2019, and since then not past round two. Was that playing on your mind? Is it a relief that you finally got over that hurdle again?
No, not really, because when I did have that run to the quarterfinal, I've actually averaged higher in the first two games this year than I did in all of my games in the run to the quarterfinal. I was just lucky back then to get through to the quarterfinal. I had a good draw. The players that I played didn't produce their best darts, and I managed to get through to the quarterfinal. But now I feel like I should be doing better, and I want to produce my best game on this stage, and it's not happening at the moment. It's not happening yet. I'm just still looking for that big 100+ average to get me going in the competition, get the confidence up.
Tonight as well, your transition from treble 20 to treble 19 was really on point. Is that something that you've been working on?
Yeah, definitely. The scoring's been a struggle lately, pretty much all season really, and the treble 19 is a big part of my game. With the way my darts lie in the board, if I get any dart above the wire at all, I have to switch straight to 19, so I do practice a lot, yeah.
Ryan, well done on tonight. How much of an improved player do you think you are from that 2019 run to the quarterfinals to what we're seeing now?
Yeah, That's a tough question. I've obviously improved in experience, but experience can count for a lot actually in these competitions. I don't tend to feel as nervous as I did then. Maybe that's a bad thing. Maybe that's what's stopping us from. Maybe I need those nerves. I don't know. But there's not a lot in it really between then and now, which is it's a real disappointment. That I should feel like I'm a much better player than I was then, but I'm not really showing that. If you understand what I mean, so that's a frustration for me.
You do seem to have more of that sort of want and desire behind your performances nowadays. Is that something that you feel, and is that a change that you've made sort of deliberately?
Yeah, it's only very recently, since I went and had a chat with Doza and a few lessons, I've got a little bit of desire back, because I'd lost it a little bit. I was how do you say, falling out of love with it a little bit and thinking, I'm never going to be any better than what I am. I'm never going to get in the top 32. I'm struggling. I'm not good enough. And now I've got that a little bit something back. He's given me a little bit of extra belief and saying I actually am good at darts and I can do better. And now I've got to go out and prove it over the next 12 months, hopefully. Thank you.
Ryan, you mentioned that obviously you're working with Doza and you're changing your setup, because you were saying that you keep falling just below that wire and you're trying to get it up there. When you're going for the treble 20 and it's falling just the whisker underneath it,
yeah.
How do you kind of steady your nerves and not overcorrect for that when you're trying to get there?
It's really difficult, yeah. I'm a professional player. I've been playing darts and practicing darts for nearly 20 years. And the overriding emotion that I feel is embarrassment. I think, well, why can't you hit the treble 20? It's a bread and butter of a profession, especially if you want to get in the top 32. You have to be good at hitting the treble 20, as simple as that. And it might be just mental, it might be psychological, it might be something technical, but I'm going to try my best to try and work it out. And I feel like the more I switch off and not think about this treble 20 and all these things, the better it seems to go. So I think that's the way forward, just to try and relax more and have more belief. And that's the strategy I'm going to have going forward. Just try and switch off during matches and not worry about anything anymore. You know.
Good luck with it.
Okay, thank you.
Ryan, well done on the win up there. There are a lot of dangerous players in this tournament, but do you think you're the most dangerous non-seeded player, or certainly maybe the non-seed with the most in the locker, shall we say? Yeah,
definitely. I do feel that way. That's why I was number 33 coming into the tournament, because I am the highest ranked non-seed player. So I think out of those seeded players that are ahead of me, I don't think they want to play me. They'd rather play somebody else, because they know what I can do on my day. They know I'm a dangerous player. I've beat them all before, everybody apart from Luke Littler, because I've never played him yet.
You talked about that maybe you don't have quite as many nerves as maybe what you once did and the experience. Do you just feel more comfortable in the game in general? Because I think we've noticed, even when talking to you, you talk a lot more easy and freely now than perhaps what you used to.
Yeah. I'm very lazy. I'm very complacent. I'm very comfortable in the position where I am, and it's hard to motivate myself, to push myself further. If you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. I've struggled with that for a few years now. I'm saying, well, I'm in that position between 40 and 32. I'm making £100,000 a year without practicing very hard, without travelling to European tours. So I'm thinking, well, that's enough for me. In my head, sometimes subconsciously, I might be saying that's enough for me. But before I get too old and too unfit, I'm going to really try this year to really push myself and see how far I can actually go if I really try properly. And that's why I've went and spoke to people like Glenn Durrant, and I'm trying to get advice. I'm speaking to people who are professional fitness coaches and dietitians and things like that. And I'm really, this next 12 months is going to be huge for me. I'm really going to try and sort things out and try and make sure my mindset is actually right for being a top player in this sport.
Brilliant, Ryan. Wish you the best of luck. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Well done, Ryan. Sorry. What was it that Glenn said to you that kind of rekindled that passion for darts?
It's told us not to mention too much about it. It doesn't want to give away too many secrets, and so if you want to know, you'll have to book a lesson with him, and I'm sure he'll help you out.
But needless to say, it played a key part in helping you sort of get back on track, as it were.
Yeah, it's like, I wouldn't say a key part. It's more like when you reach out to somebody that can give you that extra 2 or 3% on your game, what can make all the difference in a tight game. And a lot of the games that you play in the Pro Tour and on the stage like that are really tight games. They're decided in this one dart double here and there, you know, and to have that extra couple of percent, whether it's confidence or belief or a slight technical tweak, it could be anything that gives you a little bit of extra. Anything like that is worth going for, especially when you're in my position, where every game is so tight and can be decided by the slimmest of margins.
So the plan for next year, is it to sort of hammer the practice board more and go to more Euro Tour events?
Absolutely, yeah. You definitely need to practice more. Any sport, you get out of it what you put into it. I think over long, talent can take you so far, but if you really want to be the best, you've got to put the hard work in. And I feel like I have not done that over my career, not to the extent where I really should have done.